Postpartum mental health is a critical issue affecting many new parents, yet it's often not discussed enough.
We spoke with Dr. Jessica Britt Thomas, who helped us understand postpartum depression and anxiety, how to recognize the signs, and why open conversations are so important.
Good to see you guys.
Thanks for coming.
Always.
Thank you. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
I know everyone just wants to jump into this topic.
I really want to talk about this. So can you explain what postpartum mental health is and why it's important to talk about?
Yeah, so postpartum mental health is a emotional and psychological change that new parents go through. So if we're talking particularly with mothers, there's a lot of hormonal changes, but both parents also experience sleep deprivation, life adjustments, and all of that can kind of change our mood. So maybe more increase in mood swings, maybe anxiety or depression, or a very large sense of feeling overwhelmed.
So how can someone tell if they or someone that they know and love is experiencing postpartum depression or anxiety? What are the signs? Great
question. So for postpartum depression, you're looking at some chronic sadness, maybe some difficulties bonding with your baby, extreme fatigue, changes in appetite or sleep. And then with anxiety, the big component, postpartum anxiety, is the big fear, the excessive worrying. So it might be about your baby's health and well-being, thoughts of like the worst things happening. It's just a constant state of fear is what we're looking at. And usually for about 2 weeks or more is what we start to trend in terms of it being postpartum anxiety or depression.
I've heard that like sometimes if a mother is trying to breastfeed and the baby's not latching on, that can just be a huge warning sign of the onset of postpartum depression.
It could, because that can be contributing to that mother feeling inadequate and then everything that goes with breastfeeding in general. So absolutely.
Now, what are some reasons new parents might not seek support for postpartum mental health challenges?
Well, one, they just may not know, right, what it is. They haven't been able to label what they're experiencing, or some people say, this will pass, this too shall pass, right? We don't talk about it enough as well, but they may not have the resources, so they may not have the support system, or there may be financial burdens or barriers in terms of seeking help. So there's a variety of reasons why we may just kind of sit with it and not do anything about it.
So sometimes they're going through it, but they don't even know,
They don't even know. They don't even know, yeah.
There's so many changes already happening at that time.
Right.
You might just consider that as part of the other changes.
Right.
So let's talk about some ways that family and friends can help support, including even healthcare providers. How can they support those parents who are struggling?
Yeah, so emphasizing it makes a difference. Simple things. Offering to make a meal, if someone's offering to help with that or provide some time for you to get some rest and they're looking after your baby, your newborn. Those of us that are pet owners, maybe someone's taking out your pet, doing a gesture. And I always recommend people be practical about it. It's saying, let me know if I can help you. That's very helpful, but that person may not know what they need help with. Right. Instead of you saying, I'm just going to drop a meal off, or I'm going to take your dogs out, or whatever that may be. More formal interventions, obviously seeking therapy, but sometimes just medications will help. We talked earlier about the hormonal changes. So I always describe to people that being on medication doesn't have to be a lifelong or a long-term thing. It could definitely be pushing you through this difficult time, and it does restore and cause a lot of comfort in being able to have something that you know works. So.
Yeah, my family lives abroad, right? And they came over to help me when I had my kids, and it was a huge help. Like you said, like I didn't have to worry about laundry or cooking. So
it's the little thing. It really is the little things.
Yeah. So now, what can we do as a community, like to make it easier for parents to talk about and get help for postpartum mental health concerns?
Yeah, so we have to normalize this conversation. Like, having this conversation today is so important. Being able to reach out to someone, like whether it be a loved one or a family friend, but someone that's been through your experience, sharing of their personal story goes a long way. Making that person feel that it's okay, validating that feelings essentially, and underlying that struggling does not equal failure, does not mean that you're failing, and seeking help is actually a sign of strength, not weakness. Those are the big take-home points.
Yes, and there are resources like we are seeing now on the screen. Like you can get help.
Yes, yeah, definitely. There's helplines for that. There's also help supports for the partner, the non-caring parent or the father. So there's those resources, but whether it be online or on the phone, those are very good options from national support.
I can speak from experience, yes, even the dad sometimes.
Oh,
even the father units
absolutely.
need the support sometimes as well.
Yeah, we don't want to forget about the non-caring parent, definitely.
Thank you for sharing all this
Thank you.
information. Very poignant.
Great information.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it very much,
Of
Jessica.
course. Thank you, guys.